Just like to do a little update on my moose fern. This is in the staghorn fern family. The difference is the moose fern just has these long architectural leaves. It doesn't get the staghorns on them, the staghorn shape. And this is the most drought tolerant of this type of fern. You still get a little unique shape, and the way the fern kind of angles out, you can see it's nice. I bought this over a year ago at Home Depot, and it's been outside. It receives no spring water, no winter water, and no fall water. Only time I water it is in the month of July and August. So what it does when I'm not watering it, it gets more of this callus base here. And that base can be green, but when it doesn't get enough water, that base turns brown like that earlier than it should. And then it starts, conserving leaves like that. But it makes it. And as soon as I start watering it, either by hand or it rains, it starts putting out new babies. This is a brand new one here that it put out in the month of July and August. And I'm using gray water, so just whatever little extra water is in my cup is what I'm using. And I see I have a few leaves that are getting a little damage to them. I don't know if that's because it's their time, because it's putting out new leaves and some of the older leaves. These are the new leaves and there's no browning on them. This is new. You can see, I want to show you that. See, that's coming out in front of the base to start a bottom to the plant. And there's another base, see? So it's several little plants all over. So this is a good one for your backyard when you put out your ferns in an area. If you are in an area where there's not a lot of humidity, this plant, this fern with the thick leaves, can take it. And it's beautiful. I have made one adjustment. I had it in one of these, which is what people who are growing it in an area with a lot of rainfall or who are watering all the time. Even right now, I'm watering it with my gray water when I think about it. So about twice a week, whatever little water I have. And it's not a lot. Like this was a cup of water. I didn't drench the whole plant. But now I put it in this base here, and this base has a plastic liner in it. So all I had before was those pebbles with the rocks. Nothing's going to get to those anymore, but now it has a base. So maybe I'll put some rocks in this base so that the humidity can come back up to the plant while it's hot. We'll see if I get around to it, but I'm very happy with it. It dies back when we don't have water, and as soon as we have water, it puts out new leaves. So that's why it's not a huge plant. Since I've been hand watering it, it's starting to get a few huger leaves. Like this leaf is very interesting. Look at the shape on it. Yeah, it's got all these different shapes on the leaves. This one has a point on it, and this is a traditional moose leaf that we're expecting, and it's fuzzy. So it's a nice little plant for those of us who want a fern in a pot in an area where a fern in a pot is not really realistic. This is also in a full sun area. It's not in the shade. So it, as you can see, it is partially shaded now because the shadow of the house comes down half day, but it still gets 6 hours of sunlight. It does not, as a fern, it outside it could do with 4 hours of sunlight and it'd be fine. It probably would if it had 4 hours of sunlight instead of the 6 it's getting, or if it was shaded like this all the time, it probably would be even more drought tolerant. So just a thought, you know. Interesting fern, really fun fern that you can grow in areas with dry air, no problem. And I guess if you had a lot of water in your area, you'd never have to water this one if you could grow it. I don't know how it deals with cold weather though. I don't know if it dies back and comes back or if it's a tropical fern. We don't know. But I just want to share with you the only fern I grow in a pot. All my other ferns I grow in the ground. I can grow ferns in the ground. But this is the only fern I can grow in a pot. Without having to water like twice a day.